All right, hey, Shalom. I want to begin by giving all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. And Shalom to all the Akim pushing this truth with sincerity. It's your brother Itazawan from the GMS Columbus branch, coming back again with another video through the Spirit. Lord's will it be edifying. And pretty much, just, continuing the Get Active series. All right. Another beautiful weekend with the beloved elder bro here. My brother, and like we do, we train together, we fight together, we spar, we run, we pretty much, concerning, manliness and, our endeavors, we do it together, and, that's why it's so important, to be a part of the brotherhood. All right, and to be in sync with one another, it helps boost your spirit. It helps motivate you. All right, motivate the men around you. All right, you gain respect, from one another. All right, you go through adversity together, etc. Man, the brotherhood is beautiful. All right, you find common ground. All right, find things that you're in common with, you have in common, so to speak. All right. And something me and the beloved bro we have in common is we like to fight, we like to train. And this man helped me, motivated me to get back in the spirit, to train with them and spar, etc., etc. All right, the brotherhood is very important, man. All right, you have different members in the body. All right, as it is written, and everyone plays a part. And with us, being in sync, all right, the body forwards, all right, and continues to move, all right, in the correct way, But I just want to get a couple precepts, man. Really don't, have no set topic. I just want to continue the series, which I plan to do, and Abaratazah, motivates brothers, younger brothers like myself. Even, our elder bro, he's young in age, but, he's been around for a while. Just to stay active, keep on moving. All right. The apostles, I believe Apostle Gabar was going into, we should learn a martial art, some form of combat sport. All right. The Apostle Tahar even made mention that everyone in GMS should learn BJJ. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all right? Now my preference, of combat is boxing, all right? The elder bro here, his is Muay Thai. But not only, for any carnal reasons, because at the end of the day, concerning a fight, man, it's ultimately the will of the Lord, whether you win or lose, but for the discipline, the discipline, all right? The edge, all right, the love for manliness, all right, the love to be ambitious, Salakia, stuttering and shit, to feel your muscles burn, be in situations, man, where you tired but you got to keep fighting, It's like, hey, this last bar session, me and the elder, was going at it, man. Both tired as hell, having to, go to the extra mile, man. Of course, we ain't trying to kill each other, but, hey, gain each other respect, don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Keep on pushing. Ribs hurting, out of breath, all that, man. You see? But I just got a couple precepts lined up. Just gonna get them. Psalms 133, I'm reading the KJV. It says, behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Right. And like I said, me and, brethren here, man, I know for sure we unified. All right. And you know what makes it even better, man, is knowing that you're doing the right things, knowing that you're training, knowing that you're eating right. You know, a typical weekend for us, man, here in GMS Columbus, you know, mainly for me and the elder bro, because, we train often. Got other brothers getting into it as well, having the younger brothers spar. We spar each other. We all have sparred, but, on a consistent basis, me and the elder bro and, other brothers may join on occasion. But, we have a solid day of training. All right, afterwards, we may do another workout after that, hit the weight room or run. Shit, we come in, to HQ. I'm into the herbs, so I got the bitter herbs, the teas going. All right, then, we eat some clean protein and vegetables, After, after that, we have class. We have a class for hour and a half, 2 hours. Then we go to camp. After camp, we sup. May go to HQ2, have a nice dinner, good proteins and vegetables, maybe a carb, And, we enjoy some yayan and, just enjoy each other's company and still be in the spirit. Just speaking about the kingdom, meditating, sharing thoughts, letting Jake be Jake, getting things off the chest and, getting a sense of freedom, from the outside world. And man, I love it. That's a life of a prophet, man. And that's what we do here. So it's, like I said, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, right? You think of David and Jonathan. Let's get that in 1 Samuel 18. This is 1 Samuel 18. At the top it says, "And it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul." Right? And that's beautiful dynamic, man, brethren. You love this man as much as you love yourself. Like, it's the second command: love thy neighbor as thy love thyself. Willing to die for your brother. Gut it out with your brother. Whatever the case may be, man, it's beautiful. It feel good being able to train with the bro, spar, bro, and ain't no animosity, ain't no nigga shit. Here it is, hey, brother may get the ups on you on sparring, or you get the ups on him. He ain't, oh no, let's take the gloves off and let's, nah, man, it's just all respect and brotherhood, man. We learn from each other, we teach each other, critique each other, and we do our best, man, to just be one, be unified, man. All right, let's look up the word knit. To bind, tie, bind together, league together. Let's look up the word league. A collection of people, countries, or groups that combine for a particular purpose, typically mutual protection or cooperation, right? An agreement to combine for a particular purpose, right? So, we come together, we lead together first and foremost in the spirit, all right, and in the scriptures, all right, to do the work of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, but, furthering it and ultimately helps boost our spirit even more through our training, through our discipline, through, us sharpening each other's, abilities, man. Whether it be in the scriptures or, in this flesh, man. It all, first and foremost, goes back to the spirit. And, the things outside of that, the things that you put in, to your temple, or the work you put towards your temple will help build up, your spirit. All right? Conspire. Make secret plans jointly to commit an unlawful, harmful act. Plot, act together. you know. They, ain't conspiring like that, but pretty much act together, work together, combine, join, unite, ally, join forces, cooperate. You see? All right. So just as Jonathan and David was knit together, that's how we are to be in this brotherhood, man. Knit together. Working together, man. You know? It be times, man, where the bro, he come to my gym, you know. But yeah, man, I'm about to hit the gym, you want to join? I'm like, hell yeah. But even if I don't feel like it, hey, Con, I'm going to join just because, I don't want to leave my brother in war. If he doing push-ups, I need to be down there doing push-ups too. Same with me. Hey, Zaquan, trying to hit some push-ups. Con, yup, let's do reps of 25 to 100. Or whatever real quick, And that's just what we do, man. And it's beautiful, man, for brethren to be unified, to be joined together, to be knit together. All right. It makes this walk more precious because you got a companion, someone who is fighting for the same things you're fighting for, man. And who shares the same mind you share, man. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. Let's get this 1 Peter 2:17. It says, honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear the Most High, honor the King. Right? Love the brotherhood, man. And it's so crazy because concerning, the Sakari situation, some more, things going on with that, which I ain't getting into it, but, you could see there wasn't a lot of love in that brotherhood. All right. And man, I know that shit sucks to be divided against, men that you had love for. Now, God forbid if Jake go off on doctrine or get bugged out, then hey, it is what it is. But, until then, man, we won. We're knit. All right, Abaratazah, me and the beloved brethren to the end. All you brothers, across the states and GMS, man. We got some brothers who closer together than others, but hey, Abaratazah, we're all one. We're of that same body, the body of Yahweh. All right. Now I want to get another precept too, real quick, just on a health tip. Let's get Sirach 30. Start at 15. It says, health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. It says, and a strong body above infinite wealth. Right, man. Hit the weights, man. Go run, spar. Let off some steam. It feel good. Take your herbs. I remember. I forget. I believe it was this young dude in the world. He was, a guy who was trying to get his health right. And I forget how he phrased it, but, it stuck with me. He was like, man, you ain't going to regret working out, but you're going to regret when you don't. You ain't going to, it's just certain things, when you do them, you're not going to regret that you did. You ain't, oh, fuck, man, I worked out. Oh, man. Like today, man, I had to, get up for work. Ain't really feeling it at all today. But I don't regret not going to work. But say I just was, being lazy and being, all slothful, I would have regretted, man. Damn, I should have took my ass to work. Now your check a little short, man. That a little, 150, 200, that could have been on your check is gone now, Verse 16, it says, there is no riches above a sound body and no joy above the joy of the heart. All right? A sound body, a good body, a whole body. Let me look up this word sound again. I believe it goes into like being whole. In other definitions, healthy. Here we go. sound, healthy, not diseased, free from special defect or injury, right, man? And, we all have them, bro. And, we're going to continue to, have, infirmities, etc. But, hey, man, knowing that you're tackling, you're tackling your, things that you go through to the best of your ability, hey, that gives you, a sense of health and a sense of your mind. Hey, man, at least, I know I worked out. I know I took my herbs. Apparatus are the Lord sent healings upon me, But, hey, if you just, fucking drowning in your sorrows and still being slothful, not changing anything, hey, you just going to be diseased in your mind. You see? But, yeah, that's all I got, man. I just wanted to bring that out. Continue the series, man. Gonna try to, like I said, do these at least every weekend. Yeah, man. Keep working, posting little clips. Me and the, beloved brother. I ain't gonna show no crazy stuff, no spar sessions or none of that, But, running clips, weight room, and, just things to motivate younger brothers like myself, man. I'm 25 now. And, like I said in my last social testimony, I lost a lot of weight. Gained a lot of weight first coming into this truth. And now I lost it. And I plan on losing more, getting more gains, hitting new PRs. Just, hey, for the sake of the brotherhood, for the sake of, the orders and, the counsels from our apostles on down. And for myself, for my spirit, for Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shad, and, increase and just be, a better man, day in and day out. So Apparatus, this was exhorting, all right, and edifying to those who may receive it. We'll give all glory and praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rekakudah Shalom.